In a world where power, crime, and intrigue collide, a dark and chilling tale emerges from the shadows. Today we delve into the jaw-dropping chronicle of a young Dutch prodigy who rose to infamy in the Underworld, capturing hearts and instilling fear in equal measure. Brace yourself for an unfiltered glimpse into the gripping and shocking saga of the one they call Bolle Jos, the insane rise of a young Dutch crime boss. You are wrong if you think the world's biggest drug dealers are always old in their 50s or 60s. There's one man who is still relatively young but has already made it onto Europe's most wanted list. He is accused of being a key figure in international drug smuggling and money laundering networks. As the police suspect, he is ruthless and does not shy away from violence. He is the mastermind behind the disappearance of Nemo Jalal, the Dutch godmother of cocaine. He was kidnapped and has not been found since. That is not all. In January of 2023, it was revealed that the ex-Dutch Minister of Justice and Safety is heavily guarded due to a serious threat to his life. This threat comes from none other than the man featured in this video, Jos Dekkers, also known as Bolle Jos or El Presidente, a young Dutchman who has quietly built an empire and is now being crowned as the new king of the Dutch cocaine trade. A brief message. My channel currently has only 4% of the viewers subscribed. Please help me grow this channel by subscribing, liking, and commenting. That would help me a lot. Bolle Jos Biography. Your slang Dekkers is better known as Bolle Jos, which translates to Fat Jos, a moniker he earned due to his size and physique. His other alias is El Presidente, a nickname he gave himself. Bolle Jos has managed to remain under the radar, but as the search for him intensifies, a bit more information is becoming available to the public. It is now honestly all very interesting because there is so little known about him. Bolle Jos was born in Breda, the Netherlands, on July 1st, 1991. He is 31 years old now. Little is known about his upbringing or what drew him into the drug smuggling business. It has been said that his father was a big deal in the ports of Antwerp and Rotterdam already, but this has never been confirmed. For the past 5 years, his name has been lingering in the underworld and gaining significant notoriety within it. Everyone was warned. Don't joke around with Bolle Jos. Let's dive into him. Stay with me until the end. It gets wild. Kidnapping. Bolle Jos has been tied to one of the country's most intriguing disappearances. He was supposed to be the one that gave the order to kidnap the Dutch godmother of Coca-Cola, Nemo Jalal, who was kidnapped in October 2019 after she stopped into a car near her luxury apartment in Amsterdam. Bolle Jos supposedly summoned her because she was to blame for a busted shipment of cocaine in the port of Antwerp. He had invested heavily in heavily unsuspected foul play. Jalal thought she could talk her way out of it, but unfortunately for her, that was not the case. After that day in October of 2019, nobody has heard or seen of her ever again. Some of her clothes and a handbag have been found in the exact same port dock where the cocaine bust took place. Even more surprising and kinda horrific is that there have been several pictures found on Graduante's phone of July's body, apparently. Those pictures have been shared with the Underworld. Gridvante was the leader of the Marco Mafia and is now jailed. Threats. But that is not the only relentless thing Bolle Jos is tied to the Dutch ex-Minister of Justice and Safety, and is currently being heavily guarded 24 hours a day because of serious threats coming from the Underworld. An informant has attributed his threat to none other than Bailey Josh, which is very interesting because Bolle Jos' companion Flora Bresses has been named in Belgium as the initiator of the kidnapping of the Belgian Minister of Justice and Safety. The Belgian minister is also constantly on the lookout. An attempted kidnapping near his home in September of 2022 failed, resulting in the arrest of 4 Dutch suspects. What do you think is their motivation for threatening justice and safety ministers in their respective countries? Please notify me in the comment section. Bolle Jos. Bolle Johnson's lawyers have responded to the news by saying this is really far-fetched and one big fantasy. I have no further comments. Belgian native Florissa himself is a fascinating figure as well. He is also known as the finger cutter because it was a type of punishment that he'd used on several people. Flora is just a bit older than Jos, but they were both just as eager, smart, and violent. Bresses has also imported tons of cocaine himself and was a big shot for a long time. A fun fact about Flora is that he actually studied criminology only to become a big criminal himself, but unlike Bolle Jos, Bress has really recently been caught in Switzerland. Finally, Bolle Jos is married to Belgian Stefan Bogaerts, 55. Bogaerts was the owner of a container company that was struggling financially. Authorities believe he entered the drug trade to try to solve his financial problems, but something went wrong and he had to pay with his life. Even though authorities have significantly increased their efforts to find Bolle Jos, he has yet to be apprehended. They have just released 2 more pictures of him, both of which are pretty vague. Authorities have also placed a €75,000 bounty on his head for anyone who can lead them to his arrest. Where is he hiding? In all honesty, €75,000 for such a large criminal may not seem like much, but it may put more pressure on him. As is customary, much speculation surrounds which country he may be hiding in, with Dubai being the only one confirmed location. Dubai has long served as a haven for international criminals. Criminals could spend their millions on any luxury item in Dubai without fear of the authorities, which has been unfortunate for them, so yeah. Dubai has collaborated with other countries to apprehend and extradite criminals in their city. Recently, some of the world's most notorious criminals, including Rafael Imperial Eden G, as well as 400 other major criminals, yes, 400 of them from around the world, have been apprehended there. This leads them to believe that Bogus has relocated to Dubai, while Dutch authorities believe he is currently hiding in Turkey, for which they have valid reasons. Which I will explain in the following, stay tuned for that. It is definitely interesting that Turkey has recently become a major hub for the world's most dangerous criminals. Several other countries have been mentioned in addition to Turkey. It makes you wonder, where would you be hiding if you were Bolle Jos? Please let me know in the comments section. I do look forward to your thoughts and ideas. Police raids. Because the cops cannot seem to get close enough to him to apprehend him, they are now harassing the people around him in an attempt to learn more about Bolle Jos' whereabouts. In January of 2023, Dutch police conducted several raids on homes and offices belonging to family members of Bogus. They seized expensive watches and jewelry, designer handbags, large sums of cash in many different currencies, and false passports. They also seized numerous phones, USB sticks, computers, cameras, pictures, and another large sum of money. They also arrested his mother and sister, who were suspected of laundering criminal money. Turkey, as they both visited the currently frequently in the last year in the hopes of meeting him. This was the story of Bolle Jos, a young drug smuggler who had been operating under the radar for a long time before quickly rising to becoming a ruthless multi-million euro drug lord. This motive contains very little information about his uprising. There are only 4 pictures of him on the internet, but what is known is that he is violent and does not shy away from using violence to get his way. To this day, 4 years later, Neymar Jalal has still not been found guilty, and the chances of that happening are getting slimmer by the day. There are many stories regarding crime bosses and how they came to power, their rise to power, and how they became kingpins, or, people with lots of power and gangsters that could control the mafia or the world within. Well, the kind of world that we don't get to see. The civilians, they never get to see any of that, but this is how crime bosses operate. They operate in the shadows. Nobody knows, but everyone knows. Everyone's in their pockets, but nobody knows no one's in their pocket. And that's also the story of this young Dutch crime boss himself, one of the youngest bosses ever. Bosses are usually by the age of 50 or 60 because it takes time to learn the business and to be cunning and smart, and most importantly, stay alive in a business and profession like this. So to have someone be so cunning and smart and, just as dangerous in this business, it's really a compliment, if anything, to this young Dutch boss, Bolle Jos himself. There is a €77,500 bounty on his head, but will that be enough to catch one of the biggest drug kingpins alive? One of the most important things I would really like to hear from you guys is, what can you predict about his age? How long do you think he will stay alive? How long do you think he will survive in this business, in this industry that usually either has people dead by the age they're ready to be fathers, or by the age that they're very old? There's no in between, because people who last long in this business are very dangerous and cannot be messed with. Not someone you just want to meddle with, now do ya? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.